Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to deliver your November 2016 mid-month readings. I am using the Gilded Tarot, and even though we're focusing more on the last few weeks of November rather than the month in its entirety, I'm still going to be pulling the same amount of cards, 8 cards with an additional ninth card from the bottom of the deck as your overall energy and advice. These are general readings, so your primary sun sign, if that's what this one is for you, may or may not resonate as well for you as your rising and your moon sign. So make sure to check those as well if you know them and if you have the time. You may find, as I do, that watching each of your 3 signs, sun, moon, and rising, gives you different pieces and plays out for you in different areas of your life. So watching all 3 of them together gives you a more clear vision of the time frame ahead that the reading covers. So try to watch all 3 if you can. Always a note of gratitude before we dive into this reading. Thank you to those of you who continue to watch and listen and follow so faithfully and so loyally. Your support and your feedback are very welcome and much appreciated. Thank you for that. Keep those comments coming. I love reading all the stories that you write me and tell me, particularly how the readings play out for you in your lives. Because sometimes the general readings don't resonate at all. I understand that. And how could they? There's so many of you watching, and everybody has different things going on in their lives. But for some of you, they do resonate so predictively. And it's really quite amazing. So thank you for that, and keep those comments coming. Welcome to any newcomers. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing should you choose to do so. Always a thank you to those of you who continue to reach out for personal one-on-one readings. It is always an honor and a pleasure to read for you, and I'm very grateful for the trust that you place in me to interpret and intuit the cards for you. And thank you to my regular clients for allowing me to be such an ongoing part of the chapters of your life as they unfold, and for continuous updates on how the readings play out in your lives. If any of you are interested in a one-on-one reading with me, you can click on that little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage. That'll give you a little more information in detail. And my email address, you can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I do readings full-time, 6 days a week, so I'm able to get back with you quite quickly and set up a reading within a pretty fast frame of time. A current turnaround time is anywhere from a couple of days up to 2 weeks at the outside. I can almost always schedule something within 2 weeks, but it usually averages somewhere between a few days up to a week. So if you're interested, send me an email. We'll go from there. So let's get right into this reading. This is for Libra for November 2016, mid-month. What does the remainder of the month of November 2016 have in store for our Librans? The air sign of Libra. Show me any feedback, guidance, messages from Spirit for Libra. What do they need to know to successfully navigate through the remainder of November 2016? Energies for the air sign of Libra. Libra, November 2016, mid-month. Okay, Libra. We begin with the Seven of Wands, followed by the Ten of Cups. We have the Seven of Swords, followed by the Nine of Pentacles. Interesting. We have the Tower in reverse, followed by the Two of Wands. We have the King of Pentacles, followed by the Devil at or towards the end of the month of November 2016. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall crowning card and advice. Energy and advice is the Strength card. I'm going to take a look at one more, the Eight of Cups. I'm going to leave that in. Okay, Libra, let's just take a look. Well, the balance of elements in the reading is more or less even. There's a couple of wands, a couple of pentacles, a couple of cups, one sword. But you do have three major arcana cards, including your crowning card. So it looks like there's a lot of divine timing, orchestration, divine energy coming in for the remainder of November 2016 as well. Of course, this is going to play out and specifically mean different things for different people because there's so many of you watching, and I'll do the best I can to try and separate one story from the other. It looks like the challenge is in whether to hold on to something or whether to let go of something and how to rebuild in the process of that. For some of you, there's a strong relation to home and family here as well, and it may be in looking at the Pentacles card too. For some of you, this may be very tangible, concrete matter around your home or your property of some sort in terms of there being a challenge or perhaps foreclosure even I'm getting maybe for some portion of you. Let's go ahead and start the reading. Well, I kind of just did, but let's just go into it. So we begin, and I'm actually recording this on the 10th. We begin with the Seven of Wands, followed by the 10 of Cups. So the Seven of Wands, Wands is that suit governed by fire. It's a very dynamic, action-oriented suit, change, movement, power, action. It's very fluid. It's all about creating, building, and manifesting. The Seven of Wands is primarily a defensive card. It can speak of, well, it can speak of being defensive in a way that's maybe not all that healthy or positive in terms of being overly defensive about something. But it also represents standing up for something that you believe in, standing up for someone, perhaps that you feel can't stand up for themselves, guarding, defending, protecting. And that's actually the energy that I'm getting quite strongly from this card for you, Libra. You can see that this man is standing in front of the door to his home, his castle, his keep. And for some of you, this quite literally might be about your home, your actual place of residence, your or piece of property that you're attached to. Because it comes with the 10 of Cups, it could be the place that you live in or a family home, a piece of family property. He's standing in front of it with his wand held up in a defensive gesture because he feels like it's being threatened or challenged somehow, or somebody's trying to take it away from him or destroy it. And again, for some of you, this is going to be literal in terms of your home. Some of you may be facing, again, I'm getting foreclosure or eviction of some kind. It could be, I'm getting taxes too, taxes for a piece of property. For others of you, this could represent something else, whatever it is that you're guarding, you're protecting, you're trying to defend and hold on to. It could be, for some of you, it could be a relationship issue. But it's something you feel very emotionally connected to, something that you've invested a great deal of yourself in. This man is standing up for protecting, defending something he feels very strongly about because he's invested so much of himself into it. Time, perhaps money, finances, resources, emotions. He feels very attached to whatever this is that he's guarding or defending because he feels like it's being threatened. Somebody either wants to take it away or destroy it. Or perhaps for some of you for whom this is a relationship issue, it may be that there's a lot of conflict going on in your home right now. Kind of in that happy home atmosphere is not quite so happy, and there's a lot of conflict within a relationship, which is challenging the home itself, providing a stressful, conflictive environment, particularly if there's children involved. Perhaps you and your partner are going through a very difficult time, and there's a lot of fighting and a lot of conflict. That Seven of Wands is accompanied by the 10 of Cups, which is traditionally considered one of the happy home card, that happily ever after card. Cups is an emotional suit. It's governed by the element of water, and it's a suit all about our feelings and emotions, relationships, love, our emotional landscape, and how we relate to people that we're involved with, both close interpersonal relationships and outer ones. Cups can govern relationships of all sorts. all sorts of love, all sorts of relationships. Tens represent the culmination of something, coming full circle, the end of of a cycle, the full completion or achievement of something. And this represents the 10 of cups. So you can see this beautiful rainbow of these 10 goblets, all upright, all full, indicating a sense of emotional fulfillment, joy, but more than just kind of surface happiness. It's about feeling content, feeling like life is, you're really happy with the way that your life is. It's considered one of the happy home cards because it's around family and home. You can see the artist who designed the Gilded Tarot deck designed the picture on the Ten of Cups as if it were what he was coming home to at the end of the day. You know, that place where you can shed all your cares, your home, everything feels right, all the puzzle pieces connect. You feel like your life is just, it's really good right now. You can see this home, the wife and the child and the little kitty cat, you know, waiting for him to come home, enjoying it. Just a lovely feeling of feeling like life is really good, like things really fit. Feeling very content in your life. So paired with the Seven of Wands, what does this mean for you, Libra? Again, there's a challenge of some kind that is either threatening to ruin or destroy or take away your home. For some of you, it's going to be very tangible in terms of property matters. For others of you, it could be relationship difficulties. Somehow, the happiness and harmony and that sense of stable continuity of your home and your family is being disrupted, either by a primary relationship within the home or even external forces that are coming in. There's just a lot of stress, strife, conflict, and it's threatening or challenging or causing a lot of conflict within the home and the family. And I am sorry to see that for you. But it feels like too that you're some of you, you're actually standing, you're trying to figure a way through it. You're trying to figure a way to save the for some of you it's save the actual home, the property. For those of you for whom this is more of a Pentacles energy thing, like foreclosure or eviction, or again, I'm getting taxes for some of you, taxes on a piece of family property that feels very specifically oriented towards somebody, or perhaps ownership of a family home or family property is in question. Some of you, you're defending that as actually part of a legal process that you're involved in. For others of you, you're just doing the best you can to try and salvage it, keep it together, figure out a way through it because you want to save this. You want to save this happy home energy, this place in your life where you feel like, you know, everything's just working well. It's not, it doesn't feel like it's working quite so well, and you're trying to hang on to that. Now, next to that, we have interesting combination of cards. We have the Seven of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles. So here's some other elemental energies coming in here. We have swords. Swords is governed by the element of air. It's a suit that governs words, communications, ideas, thoughts, outlooks, perspectives, belief systems. It's a very mental and cerebral, intellectual kind of energy. It's all about what goes on up here in the old noggin, you know, how we look at things. Uh, sevens can also be sevens can also, sorry, I was got distracted by that card again. There's, you actually have two sevens together. I was checking my notes to make sure I wasn't getting that kind of mixed up with the number five as well. Sevens are a number of reflection, assessment, looking at motives. It can represent it can represent too sometimes communication problems between individuals because it's a suit that governs words and ideas as well. And you actually have two sevens right next to each other. You have the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Swords. That Seven of Wands, I'm getting that defensive, defending, protecting, guarding kind of feeling. The Seven of Swords is a card that represents it. It can represent theft. It is sometimes referred to as a thief card, often because of the picture that's portrayed on it in a variety of tarot decks. This man, the implication is this man has broken into somebody's home, and in the Gilded Tarot, he's broken in broad daylight. In others, it's nighttime. He's broken in the middle of the door, in the middle of the daytime, and he's stolen a bunch of their property, as symbolized by these swords, and he's making off with it, and he's kind of stopping in the doorway and pausing to look over his shoulder with this kind of sneaky smarmy look on his face, as if to say, hey, look what I'm getting away with, in the middle of the day, no less. Now, he hasn't managed to take everything. He's managed to take a lot, but he can't quite take everything. And again, I feel like there's something there to work with. There is something perhaps to salvage or to work on to hang on to this thing. I think it's a question of whether or not you want to. Um, This card also can represent just deceptiveness, sneakiness, slipperiness, somebody presenting themselves or a situation to be something that it's not. And that could be anywhere from personal relationships to investment opportunities. And this could be external energy. This could be energy that somebody's projecting in towards you. Somebody could be trying to, again, take your home, take your property, and even within a family system. I just got a ping on that. This could also be there's conflict within a family system about a piece of property, like maybe estate division, and everybody in the family, or there's arguments in the family as to who gets what or who's entitled to what. There could be that as well, which is why the stability of a home or a family system is in conflict and turmoil right now. Perhaps for some of you, this is about the settling of an estate or figuring out how to divide up family property somehow or family belongings, and people can't agree. I just got that coming in too. So this can represent somebody actually trying to take something away from you, which is disrupting your home or your family system somehow, or the actual property itself, the actual house itself. This can also be your energy, Libra, if you're the one who's kind of at the center of the source of this. The Seven of Swords can also represent needing to look at your own motives for doing something, because it's not always a negative card, and the thief is not always a negative image. He sometimes gets a bad rap, the thief, because sometimes this can represent just needing to be very clever, and kind of thinking outside the box in how to problem solve something. Maybe being a little sneaky, not outright dishonest, but just being very clever and kind of thinking of a different, maybe unorthodox solution in order how to problem solve something. So for some of you, this card can represent and make kind of touching base with what your own motives and motivations are within this system, within whatever this problem or this conflict is. It can also represent being exploited, being taken advantage of you. And again, I'm getting quite strongly, so perhaps for at least half of you, if not more, this is actually something related to tangible property, whether it's the division of assets, your home or apartment, something to do with that. You're in danger of losing it somehow. And again, for others of you, this is relationship energy as well. But it's not only shaking up your happy home energy and your happy home environment, but it feels like too that there's a challenge or a fear and insecurity about your way of life, your ability to be independent, self-sufficient, which is kind of self-empowering. Being able to knowing that you're able to take care of yourself gives you a sense of self-confidence and security and self-empowerment. That Seven of Swords is accompanied by the Nine of Pentacles. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is all about independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment, because of how hard you've worked. This is a card about enjoying the fruits of your labor, being very secure in yourself and in your own lifestyle. You can see that the woman is in her garden on this card. She's dressed in a beautiful gown. She's very well put together. She obviously has the resources to take good care of herself. She looks like she has a good life. She's surrounded by and enjoying all of these things, which imply a certain amount of financial prosperity, luxury, or physical comforts. The reason why it's a card of self-empowerment is because it's a card of independence and self-sufficiency. This woman has that extra sense of satisfaction that comes from knowing that all of the things she's enjoying, she's worked for herself. Nobody's handed anything to her, or very little. Everything she's enjoying has come as a result of her own work, her own labors, her own efforts. Um, so independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment, but in a very tangible way, because it's the Pentacles too. Pentacles is a suit that's governed by the element of air. I'm sorry, of earth. So Pentacles is a suit that governs and rules things in that environment, that earthly, tangible, concrete environment. So often, even though you can apply that energy to relationships and spirituality as well, often Pentacles is about money, finances, property, resources, assets, job. This is about having a stable foundation that you've worked very hard for. And whatever this conflict or problem or challenge is, Libra, however it plays out specifically for everyone watching, fundamentally it's the same. Your home, your ability to take care of yourself, your secure foundation, particularly perhaps financial security, and even including your residence, feels threatened or challenged somehow over the remainder of November 2016. Someone or something is, there's a fear of it being taken away or disrupted somehow or lessened somehow. It feels like this is attached to something that's ongoing, but it's stemming from an event that happened very recently, is what I'm getting. And the next set of cards we have is the Tower reversed with the Two of Wands. So the Tower reversed, it's a major arcana card, and in the upright position, it represents, I mean, technically the energy of the Tower is neutral. I know a lot of people clench up when they see the Tower card because often, particularly depending on the artwork of the tarot card and whatever deck that you're looking at or using, often the tarot card can represent uh, a big shakeup, something that you thought was very solid and secure and stable, not being so solid and secure and stable, something coming in very unexpectedly out of the blue. Divine energies, external forces which you have no control over, coming in and either shaking something up drastically or destroying or removing something in your life or someone in your life, a relationship perhaps, or an actual property. It could be anything that you thought was secure that you didn't have to worry about. It's unexpected energy coming in. The fact that this man is falling out of this tower, which was his home, which he thought was so stable, he's falling out of his tower completely naked, which implies a strong level of vulnerability and unexpectedness as well. So something which really comes in and shakes you up. Now, you got it in the reverse position. So in the reverse position, this represent, I mean, for some of you, there's a very small chance that this could represent that whatever process you're going through to protect or guard something, this is averted. This is like kind of narrowly avoided. But I think that for the majority of you, this actually in the upright position has already occurred. Something has come in to shake something up, really threaten something to do with your home, your family, a primary relationship, or for some of you, your sense of financial security, stability. For some of you, it could be a layoff or feeling, being afraid that you may be laid off, which of course would strongly affect your ability to support yourself and your family and your home somehow. In the reverse position, the tower reversed represents, it can represent overcoming that. Paired with the Two of Wands, which is a decision-making card, it's as if this Tower card energy has already happened and you're dealing with it. You're trying to work your way through it. And it's all about, where do I go from here? How do I rebuild? I think for the next few weeks, it's all about, is it possible to rebuild? Am I going to lose this? And uh, whatever the consequences or outcome is there enough for me to salvage this? Can I save this, whatever this is for you? Um, or if it doesn't look like I can, where do I go from here? Where do I go from here anyway? How do we move forward? How do we overcome, continue to overcome and heal from the energy of whatever this Tower card was in the upright, which I feel for most of you has already occurred. And it's about long-term planning and long-term vision. And where do we go from here? Because that that Tower card reversed is accompanied by the Two of Wands. So again, wands is that fire element. It's all about movement, change, building, manifesting, growing. Two is a number of it can be a number of stability, but it's a crossroads number. It's duality, it's choice, it can be change, making a decision, which is where this man finds himself. He's come to this crossroads. There's these two paths forked, this forked path, and he needs to figure out which one he needs to go on. Now, the key to choosing the right path for him is in long-term planning and long-term goals, long-term vision. That's what this is about. How do we move on from this, continue to move on from this Tower card energy? Is there a chance of, is there enough left to salvage? Am I going to lose this? Am I only going to lose part of it? Is there a way to fix it? Is this kind of a done deal and I need to start over again? It's about choosing a path forward, to continue moving through and away from this Tower card energy, and it's in long-term vision. Whatever this is about, it's about looking down the road, Libra, deciding what your long-term goals are in whatever arena this represents for you. Figure out what that is, what that goal is, and choose the path that provides the most opportunity for change and growth in that direction that orients you closer to whatever your long-term goal and your long-term plan is. There may be a temptation, especially with Tower card energy, to find quick fixes and quick solutions and make a decision to begin to walk down a specific path because it may fix something in the immediate time period, but it doesn't really do much in the future. The key to actually moving through this Tower card energy successfully is in again, long-term planning and long-term vision. Where do you really want to end up in whatever arena of your life this is dealing with, and choose the path that moves you very clearly towards that goal. Now, at or towards the end of the month, we have the King of Pentacles, followed by the Devil. So the King of Pentacles, again, we have that earth energy of Pentacles. Kings and queens represent individuals who've kind of at the top of their game. They've reached the mastery of their suit, the achievement of their suit. They've kind of moved through and evolved in maturity and evolution through the page and night energy, and now they're kings and queens. So this would represent somebody. Now it's showing up as a male. So because this is a general reading, it could be male or female, though it's showing up primarily as a male. And it's probably somebody older, a more mature, reflective individual, which is what kings and queens portray. Doesn't necessarily have to mean older than you in a chronological sense, but just somebody who's, he's mature, they're a grown up. They would likely be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising, or somebody who strongly manifests the character traits of the King of Pentacles, because I'm reading this as a specific individual in this situation in your life during this time period, Libra. And it's somebody who, the King of Pentacles would be somebody, financially, they would probably be somebody comfortable, if not well off, because they're the King of Pentacles. They have an innate and intuitive understanding of money, of the world of money, finances, how to save money. They're probably a very good person to seek financial advice from. They've probably built up a pretty good, solid, stable foundation for themselves. They're very good at navigating that sector of life, finances, day-to-day living. They're very grounded people, solid, stable, reliable sense of continuity. Very good, probably very down to earth, very practical and realistic. Good provider feeling. They tend to be on the generous side. They tend to like nice things around them. They tend to like nice or luxurious environments and things. They've worked very hard to have what they have. And I feel, Libra, that over at least the next few weeks, this King of Pentacles represents somebody who's going to be. For some of you, it's going to be somebody that's going to be of assistance in helping you through this, particularly for those of you for whom this is a financial matter, a property matter, something to do with dollars and cents, estates, anything to do with that, because this is somebody who would be very good at helping you navigate your way through this, because he or she um, has a lot of experience and talent in this area. It could represent somebody that you need, that you know of already, that you can seek out advice from, and it could be advice telling you to seek out somebody like this. Again, I think for some of you for whom this is money or property, it's about seeking legal advice and help from somebody who has expertise and knowledge in this area. For some of you, this could be the source of this external energy coming in, like the other person or situation that's you feel is challenging you, or you feel like your way of life being threatened, or your family home environment being threatened, that this person is the source of it. But he is showing up in the upright position, so I'm not feeling that too strongly. I feel like for the majority of you, it's somebody who's going to be of assistance, somebody who's going to be helpful, somebody who's going to help you navigate through this and remain balanced and help you bring back into balance that which is out of balance, because he crowns the Devil card, major arcana card. The Devil card can represent a lot of things. It can represent addictions, conventional addictions like drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, shopping, etc. It can represent unhealthy relationships. This might be a relationship for some of you. You know, too much power and control, neediness, obsessiveness. The fundamental definition of the devil card is imbalance, significant and profound imbalance. The scale is being really out of whack because it's major arcana card, and therefore it elevates that energy. This King of Pentacles individual is somebody who can help bring things in back into balance, which are out of balance. He may be able to help navigate you through this and perhaps away from this. For some of you, there's a walking away energy from this as well. For some of you, it's actually losing what this is, or making the decision not to hold on to whatever this is anymore, because it's too chaotic, it's too troublesome for you. For some of you, this could be very as concrete as a job loss as well. For some of you, you may have just recently lost your job, or there may be a fear of downsizing. Some of you may be losing your job over the next few weeks, and it's about, where do I go from here? And this King of Pentacles represents somebody who's good in this area, somebody who's going to help you kind of walk through this and navigate through this successfully. Now, and I feel like it's somebody you know, although for some of you it's not, but it's somebody you need to seek out for help and guidance and expertise in this. Now, your crowning cards, I pulled two. We have Strength and the Eight of Cups. Strength is the card, major arcana card, and it represents the kind of strength that you get from conquering something, actually, but not in an overly or overtly aggressive manner. This woman has tamed this wild beast, this lion. And this lion is symbolic for fears, doubts, insecurities, wrestling with your own demons. Perhaps for some of you, if who are in financial distress, or there's some challenge with finances or job or property, it could be because of perhaps unwise financial decisions that you've made. And it's kind of about facing that head on, and walking through it and figuring out what you need to do to move your way through it and away from it, so that you don't make those same mistakes again. However it resonates for you, again, because there's so many of you watching. The Strength card is about looking at a situation head on, dealing with what it is and moving through it. This is a card of not procrastinating on this, not avoiding it. It's about moving through it and away from, and moving through it and afterwards away from it. It talks about strength, wisdom, insight, and clarity, and it gives you the courage and the strength to move forward into your future, which is also what this Two of Wands is about: choosing the right path, the path that's going to um, more clearly lead you to your long-term goal and vision. Yeah, I'm getting quite strongly message from Spirit that it's about facing this. I think it looks like a very challenging situation, Libra. And for some of you, the temptation may be to kind of bury your head in the sand and not deal with this, or perhaps procrastinate on some things which are in front of you that need to be dealt with. The Strength card is Spirit asking you to, it's okay to be afraid, but don't let it freeze you. Don't get stuck at this crossroads place. It's about facing it head on, whether this is as a result of something that you've done or decisions that you've made, or external energy, somebody else is trying to do this to you. It's about facing it and dealing with it in the best and most open way that you possibly can, facing your fears, doubts, and insecurities, doing what you can and moving through and away from this. And it talks about the kind of strength and courage that you gain from doing that. We also have the Eight of Cups. This is that watery element, about emotions and relationships. The Eight of Cups is a card about turning your back on something, and it can be a card of leaving, of walking away. Um, and it's walking away from something, a situation or a relationship or a person that you ultimately have found to be disappointing, disillusioning. It's turned out differently than what you thought it was going to be in the beginning. Perhaps it was something that was portrayed, a person or a situation, which was portrayed to be one thing or even a job, and it turned out to be something entirely different. After going through most, if not all, of these cups, this man is just, he's disappointed, he's disillusioned, and he's made his decision to turn his back on this and walk away. He's already dressed for travel, and he's actually physically turned his back to us. He's just trying to decide in what direction to go in, which again is kind of a higher echo of this Two of Wands energy. And it's about having the strength to be able to do this. And for some of you, just like with Capricorn, which is the last one I did, I think the majority of the month is spent, it's more of an internal energy. How do I navigate through this? Looking at it head on. Don't procrastinate on whatever this is. Don't ignore it. Don't be conflict avoidant. Although the energy is more internal in looking at this, looking at the people that are involved, motives, motivations, kind of assessing it, trying to figure out if it's worth holding on to, or if, in fact, whatever this is can be saved or fixed. And if not, how do you move on from this? How do you move through this and away from this? How does this get resolved successfully? It looks like Spirit is asking you to also reach out for help in the form of that King of Pentacles energy. It looks like there's at least an opportunity to have help and assistance from one person who's, I feel, practice and expertise, somebody who's good at this, somebody who can help you navigate through this, or is a really good source of support for you through this, and to help kind of keep things stable and balanced, or put things back in balance and harmony in your own life. It does look challenging, but again, always the opportunity to either salvage or rebuild. And it's really, because there's so many of you watching, it's going to play out differently. It's about deciding which direction to go into. But again, that direction is more about what your long-term goal and plan is in whatever sector of this life you're dealing with this, and making the decisions that move you towards that goal, having the strength and courage to do that. For some of you, it may be having the strength and courage to stay and to fix or salvage or reconcile something. And for others of you, it's having the strength and courage to recognize that it isn't salvageable or fixable, that you can't hold on to it, and make a decision to move on and away from it, and how to do that as well. An opportunity, lots of opportunity for growth and strength and enlightenment and wisdom this month, Libra. So Libra, I hope you have, I always like to say, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. And I hope that there, I mean, there's certainly positive aspects of this, although there's some of it, of course, that may not be quite so enjoyable. I hope at least that you find the reading useful, that it resonates for you, that you can use it in at least some small way. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you all again in a couple more weeks for the December 2016 general readings. And if any of you are interested in a personal reading, again, you can click on that About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, and you can always also email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. So until I see you again in a few weeks, Libra, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.